Good afternoon, kids. This is your geometry triangles. So there are 6 different kinds of triangles, and I'm going to start with the 3 that are going to be the most common to you, the ones that you're going to remember since we just talked about angles. So you remember acute angles are those measuring less than 90 degrees. A right angle is one that measures 90 degrees. It looks like a capital L. And then an obtuse is an angle that is greater or bigger than 90 degrees. So this is a great transition into our triangles because an acute triangle is a triangle where all 3 angles are less than 90 degrees. So all of the angles are going to be acute, and you can classify it as an acute triangle. A right triangle is where one angle measures 90 degrees exactly. An obtuse triangle is going to be one where one angle is bigger than 90 degrees. Okay, so just one is going to be greater than 90. So here's an example of an acute triangle. If I look at every angle here, they're all less than 90 degrees or less than a capital L. Here is an example of a right triangle, and you see my one 90-degree angle. The other 2 are acute, but that does not make it acute because remember, all angles have to be acute in order for you to classify it as such. And last is an example of an obtuse, okay? One angle is greater than 90. It would be this one here. It's more than the capital L, so it is obtuse. Okay, pretty simple. Now we have 3 new ones, which are new words for us. Equilateral, isosceles, and scalene. Okay? An equilateral triangle, if I look at my prefix root here of equa, it means equal. So all sides of the triangle are going to be equal if it's an equilateral triangle. An isosceles is a triangle where only 2 sides are equal. And a scalene triangle is where you have 3 different lengths or sides. So this kind of triangle is one where all the sides have a different length. Okay, here are examples. And again, these little dashes are just telling you that the lengths are identical if they're all the same. So this would be an equilateral. All these lengths are the same. Here is an isosceles. 2 sides are equal, and it's these 2 are the same length, and this one here is different. It's shorter. Okay, and here is a scalene triangle. If you look, each dash is different, telling you that each length is different. So 3 different lengths is scalene. All right, here are some practice ones for us to talk about because you can classify them as both the type of triangle and based on the angle it has. So if I look at this picture, I can tell the type, and again, equilateral, isosceles, scalene, right, acute, obtuse. So if I look at the type, I notice that these sides are all different in length. So it's a scalene triangle. Now if I take a look at the angles, I notice that this angle here is more than a right angle because if I go straight up to make my capital L, you see how that line's further across, so it's bigger. So it's obtuse. Okay, moving to the middle. I notice that all 3 of these sides are the same length, making it equilateral. And then I notice I have that little guy, which means it's a right angle and it's a capital L. It's just upside down, so it's a right angle. And last one, again, I notice that these 2 sides are the same length and this one is different. When I have 2 sides the same, it's isosceles. And then if I look at my angle, I notice that they're all acute. In order for this to be a right angle, the angle would need to come straight up like that. And notice how that goes inward, so it's less than 90 degrees. Okay, and they all are doing that, which makes it an acute. Okay? Now here is your homework. It looks like a lot, so let me explain it. For questions 1, 2, 3, and 4 in blue, you're going to do the exact same thing that the practice problems asked you to do. You're going to identify the type of triangle by writing E for equilateral, I for isosceles, or S for scalene. And then you're also going to tell me what kind of angle triangle is it. Is it a right triangle, an acute triangle, or an obtuse triangle? Okay, so that's for what's in blue. Numbers 5, 6, and 7 ask you on the back of your homework sheet to draw an equilateral acute triangle, an isosceles right triangle, and a scalene obtuse triangle. Okay, so think about what all those mean and think about how you can draw them. And then 8, 9, and 10, it wants you to take these underlined words and insert them in this blank and answer the question. So for number 8, it would read, can two acute angles exist in a triangle? Why or why not? Number 9 would read, can two right angles exist in a triangle? Why or why not? And number 10, can two obtuse angles exist in a triangle? Why or why not? You may need to try and draw it out in order to help you answer those questions. All right? Good luck.